The new #1 morning show in Northwest Indiana. News, sports, education, and entertainment. Wake up, GI, with Jeffrey Smith. Brought to you by the Geary Community Schools Corporation. All right, everybody, we are back about 4 minutes after the hour. It's a beautiful Wednesday, or it's going to be. And this is Wake Up, GI, with Jeffrey Smith. We will get you updated with news as well as get some phone calls in just a bit. But as promised, we are joined by one of our guys. Now, why is it called the group scholars? I mean, are you identifying, like, let's say, a cohort of students, you're kind of monitoring them through their 4 years or however long it takes them to reach that goal that you just set out?
Absolutely, absolutely. So they come in as a cohort. They start the program the summer year of their freshman to summer.
Yeah.
That's before freshman year.
Yeah.
That's when they start the program and it continues with them until they actually cross the stage and graduate.
Now, this is, if this, what I'm thinking about, this is kind of a cool concept. So, the students kind of come in, like, the summer or right before the semester starts. As you said, you kind of have them identified as a cohort. Now, during the course of their travels, are they kind of, can they start to support each other as well during this process? Because it's now kind of like a buddy system where a student kind of sees another person struggling, they have kind of this shared interest because they're part of this team. Absolutely, I like that. So that's a thought process. Yeah. We bring it together before 6 weeks before class actually starts. Yeah.
So what did they?
Take a class before kind of answer for their early food credit and go for this program.
Right.
Only for you pay for everything.
Yeah.
And then not only that, we also have the assistant that we do bonding activities. We bring in guest speakers, so there's a whole range of things that they're exposed to.
Yeah.
One class.
Now, where did this concept first start? This sounds very familiar to like what I experienced when I was at this in the veterans because like
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. When I went to look up the Facebook page,
cohort,
their name
and
doesn't
so
pop up.
they kind of
So they took it all the way
during your journey,
down.
we're kind of like in this together and you would check on each other and things like
They
that.
haven't,
It would also be a little healthy competition as far as
because
grades.
you're the
But
only
I
one.
never saw that concept in undergrad before. So when did this start to really get mainstream?
Well, it's been going on with different universities have different things.
Yeah.
Paper programs,
Yeah.
actually back in 1968.
Oh, okay.
They've been doing it for quite some time. It just hasn't picked up at any of the other campuses.
Right.
So this cohort that we brought in last year.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to
You don't have service in here. Maybe that's why, because you don't have service in here.
who I'm assuming is participating in this. First of all, tell us a little bit about you. Welcome to the show. First of all, here's a little background. You're originally from
Or what you can do, that's what you can do. Just do a blast with your new Facebook name. Spring cleaning.
Wow. Right. Was it kind of, when you said you had to go to college, was it kind of like a family thing?
Be cautious of who you add on Facebook now too, especially if they're not mutual friends of nobody we have.
Either way, college was always in my viewpoint because I wanted to become something.
Now, I want to get, before we get to this program, because it's very unique, and I've had some scholars on with some previous projects, but when you told me you graduated 2022, I just have to ask you this. So, as you were obviously going through, you were right in the beginning, right in the middle of your high school career, and here comes the pandemic.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to talk about how that affects where you are now and how you're operating as a freshman. And your learning was interrupted because traditionally, you were like the rest of us. You go through nursery school, kindergarten, you got away, teachers in front of you, you can ask questions directly. Now you're in Google Meet, Google Classroom, all this kind of stuff. But what did it do to you socially? Because you, unfortunately, and I really mean this, I look back on myself and many other people, we had a high school experience that we will remember. You didn't have that. Yours was different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as far as like the social
Pull the mic
aspect,
just a little closer in front of you.
as far as like the social aspect of it, yeah, it was hard. I didn't know how to, communicate. I didn't have that for most of my high school life, I
Right.
guess. And so just going back and trying to become comfortable in my skin after being inside the house for so long,
Yeah,
it was like probably one of the most difficult things that I've ever like experienced.
yeah,
Because like how did I express myself,
absolutely.
as a 17-year-old that is now going back to high school after being 15 and not, going for those 2 years.
Absolutely.
Because I stayed at home my
Yeah.
junior year.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
I stayed at home. So it's like, how do I go back, reincorporate myself into high school
Yeah.
and just be myself, which,
Amazing.
it was just a mess. But I mean, I got through it.
You got through it.
I did.
And now you're a freshman in college.
Yeah.
And so, let's jump right back to where we are now in this concept that I was asking, Antoine about this group scholarship program. What has that been for you? Because now you kind of come into this next journey, and this is college, and now you've got these little teammates or your cohort, as it were, that are going through this with you. So, what was it like going to that beginning, that 6 weeks before classes started? Give us a description of that.
So, I always
Were you
talk about this
nervous?
a lot.
Were you
Yeah.
nervous?
I didn't want to apply because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just going with the flow.
Right.
It is what it is.
Right.
But one of I guess I knew my high school Spanish teacher for a long time.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, IUN is opening up the groups program.
Right.
You should look into it. And I was like, no, I want to go away to college.
Right.
That was always my dream. I want to go away to college.
Right, get out of here.
Get the experience. I just need that. But again, going back to COVID,
Yeah.
because of certain things, I was like, no, I better stay here.
Okay.
So then I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. She's like, yeah, I'll be your recommender. I'll, put the word in for you and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Then I got the message from Mr. Hawkins. He's like, oh yeah, the induction ceremony is, I think it was June 11th or something.
Yeah, because he's a great guy, right?
Yeah.
So he calls you, you're just like, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't just one email. It was like email,
Of course.
email,
Yeah.
email, phone calls, everything. And so I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll
Yeah.
do it. So I did it, and I don't regret it
Right.
at all. Going in, I felt so lost.
Right.
What do I do? How do I maneuver my way into the college life?
Right.
But with the groups program, the resources were there.
Thank you.
The communication was there, the support was there. You have everything in the groups program that you wouldn't have if you were just applied into college, got accepted, go to your class.
No, see, that's why I wanted to get to, bringing up the point about how your situation is a lot different. It's more unique than anything that I've gone through in my lifetime. You pretty much had your social life and your high school career upended. Now here you go on this massive scale. You're going to college, and now you're dealing with a lot more students. It's a whole new, freer environment. It's not necessarily regimented. You got to go to your own, you got to get your own self up to go to classes. You've got to try to find friends. And when you don't have that social contact, or it's interrupted and it doesn't naturally go like the rest of us had, it can be a little awkward. And you said you were a little nervous, but you got, you trusted a trusted person in your life, that teacher.
I did.
Yeah, and you're glad you did it, aren't you?
Yeah, oh yeah. Like I said, I don't regret it at all. I've met the most amazing people.
Right.
Opportunities have been given to me.
Yeah.
Like this, for example, that if I wouldn't have chosen the program, or I guess the program wouldn't have chosen me, I just wouldn't be here doing this, meeting, such amazing people. So it feels a little unreal,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm like,
Well, we're flattered
it's all
that
for
you think
something.
that somehow this is a big deal. But anyway,
We're talking with our guy Antoine from IUN about this wonderful groups program. We've got another young lady we're going to talk to in just a bit. Of course, Sochi, I just got to tell you, your story was absolutely amazing. And before we kind of finish, tell us a little bit about your major now. I mean, you're over here, you're going to the next level. Bring us into your journey. What are you going to major in?
Yeah,
what are you
so
majoring in?
I'm a major in social work.
Okay.
I currently have a minor in Spanish.
Oh,
But social work, you know,
it's calling you.
going into college, you know, I only had just like the bird's eye of what you know, social work was.
Right.
But then as I started taking my intro classes, it was like it's a whole
I'm curious now. What did you find out social work was?
I mean, social workers are needed,
Yeah,
period.
absolutely.
You know, hospitals, you know,
Yes.
within the community, government, you know, you can do the macro level, which is like policy.
Right.
And so right now I'm still undecided where I want to go.
Oh yeah, you're
But,
still
you know,
early. You don't have to.
yeah, but I mean,
I know people that were your age didn't have majors yet, so don't feel bad.
you know, I was young when I was like, you know, I want to become a social worker.
Right.
You know, I think I was probably like 10 or something.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I started with
Did
social
you run
work.
into a social worker that inspired you? I never heard that.
No, just YouTube. I
Yeah.
just started watching videos and I became like invested in this. So, you know, it was social work. Then it was like, I'm going pre-med,
Right.
pediatrician.
Yeah.
No, COVID happened.
Yeah.
Step back, maybe I should rethink this.
Right.
It's like, okay, I'm a vet school, veterinarian. It's
Hey.
like, no, I started working at an animal hospital. I was like, yeah, maybe that's not for me.
Oh.
So then I was like, social work,
Yeah.
here it comes again.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm sticking with social work, and I really do hope I stick with it because I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be done.
Yeah.
And I mean, it only takes one person to, you know, bring whatever's happening
Yeah.
to the light.
Yeah.
So you know, hopefully I'll be able to do a thing or two, but
Yeah.
you know,
I'm gonna go out on a limb, Sochi. I think you should look into social work.
Thank you.
Just my thought. Let's go back. Let's go back to Antoine. Of course, this is a great example, though, of everything that your program, and just to kind of hear directly of how it affected her, and just the uncertainty and everything that she was coming from. So many people like her generation, and all that, and how this program kind of eased her into where she is now. I mean, she's absolutely all in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've watched these two and the other group scholars grow, and it's amazing in a short period of time, the relationship that
Yeah.
they form with each other, calling each other sisters and being on campus. And, the things that they probably wouldn't have been able to have that relationship
Right.
without the group scholars
Right.
program, because they don't even have the same major.
Right.
So they probably would have seen each other passing, maybe in the quad,
Right, yeah.
maybe in the cafe, something like that. But the fact that they were able to grow that foundation with this program, it just speaks volumes to what we're trying to do, what we're attempting to do. Because we know from studies that students who feel comfortable, who feel welcomed
Yeah.
on campus, they succeed.
Yeah.
And by
absolutely.
them developing this bond, they feel comfortable, they feel welcome, they're getting exposed
Absolutely.
to resources and things on campus. They can't help but to succeed.
I like this program. I mean, I really do. I think it's cool. Before we're gonna meet your teammate in just a minute. But while she's getting ready to come in here, I want to ask you quickly. You talked about thinking about going off to college. I did. And I'm not knocking people who didn't. For me, I wanted to see something else and things like that. But you chose to stay here, and I think you're a great example and a great advertisement for, even now, and I'm still learning all the time when Antoine and Dr. Frank and all these people come over, just how awesome IUN is. I mean, it's always been here. I've always, I took some classes there when I was in high school, but I never really understood the campus life or anything like that. Tell the people out there listening, quickly, just how, what that's like. What is it like going to IUN as a freshman?
So, sometimes we do wish that it was a little different, but I mean, it's a small school, big
Right.
opportunities.
Right.
Like, that's just my mentality going in. And
Like, what's the student life like? I always wondered that. You all have no dorms yet. I always put that out there because I'm advocating for that yet. But this is a very type of commuter-driven type of, but it's a university.
Yes.
And so do you find yourself are the activities centered on campus, or do people get apartments in places and you go over each other? I mean, how does student life work at IUN?
Yeah, so most of the activities that happen on campus.
Yeah.
So for example, like during the winter there was like an ice skating ring and it's like
What?
a snow globe that you got to go
A
in
snow
and take a
globe?
picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like a horse carriage.
A horn? Antoine, what y'all doing over there?
So I mean, really, it's just like I said, it's a small school, but
Yeah.
just the activities that they bring for the students are very like student centered.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they know what students
The student
want.
government is a very big
Oh,
deal
yeah,
on
yeah,
campus,
yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. You know, they're the ones that advocate for us
Yeah.
and, you know, bring these activities to life on campus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they have giveaways and.
See, that's what I will say. I mean, you know, with the universities I went, there was obviously some student government, but when I used to come back and I used to even go and, you know, there were some friends that I know, Kelly Comer, people like that who were operating over at IUN, I didn't realize just how powerful that student government was. And I guess it would stand to reason that when you do have a commuter-driven school, that a strong student government kind of keeps things moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the student government, they send out emails like maybe once or twice every week, every 2 weeks. So I mean, they're very involved and very passionate in what they do.
Where do y'all party? We'll talk off the mic. You know, that's what I'm asking. No dorms or anything like that. But no, listen, all jokes aside, I do think that this program is right. We're going to meet your teammate right now as she comes on, because I want to get her experience. But I'm telling you, Sochi, absolutely, I think that what your story has been very impactful. I'm really glad that you told it, and I wish you well. I know you're going to do well. You're going to be like social worker of the year.
Thank you.
All right, let's go ahead and meet this next young lady. She's out of my eye line, but that's okay. Just go ahead. I want to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Araya Davis. I'm a freshman at IUN.
Okay, Araya. Now give us a little bit of your background. Are you locally from the region?
I am. I actually was born in Hammond but grew up in Gary.
Okay, now where'd you go to high school? You know what's coming next?
Freshman year, I went to Calumet New Tech.
Okay.
Then I transferred to Griffith High School.
Yeah.
Graduated from there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I actually stayed right behind IUN.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, ironic now that I actually go there.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. So what was, I kind of asked Sochi briefly. I'm assuming, you came out in 2022. If you don't mind, tell me what your experience was like kind of going through the pandemic in high school, because obviously you would have been a sophomore as well, and then next thing you know, everything shut down. You're opening your computer, going to Chromebook, going to Google Classroom, and you kind of losing contact with some of your classmates, and the next thing you know, your senior year, you're back at it again, getting ready to graduate. What was that like?
I was actually a junior
Oh.
when COVID hit.
Yeah.
My senior year was probably one of the most hardest years
Wow.
in high school.
Yeah.
I'm an overachiever, so
I like that.
hands-on.
Overachievers tend to say that they're overachievers. I like that.
I was a very hands-on learner, so
Yeah.
being in class was very beneficial for me. So then switching all that to online,
Yeah.
I struggled greatly,
Yeah.
and that was actually one of the main reasons why I took a gap year.
Right. I was
after
about to say. So you took a
graduated,
gap year.
because, going from being in person to online was a very drastic change that I just couldn't handle
Right.
quite well. And I knew for me, I'm very serious about my grades, very serious about my education and academics. So
Nice.
I knew if I would have went straight to college after high school, I wouldn't have been able to succeed as I wanted to.
Right.
So I made the executive decision to just wait it out, wait for campus to open back up, do some in-person classes, and that was probably the best decision I made.
You're sure we're not related? You're using words like executive decision and all this kind of stuff.
You might know some of my family.
I
My
think that-
family's all over the place.
Yeah, that's kind of stuff that the way I think. But so did you ever consider maybe still going to college and possibly doing it online? Because now you all have the luxury that a lot of us didn't, where there are universities out here that go strictly online. And since you were kind of being, I guess, driven in that direction, did you think about that?
I always knew I wanted to go to college. I knew since I was a kid.
Right.
I cannot tell you how many times I switched majors. At
Yeah.
some point, I wanted to be a neurosurgeon,
Ah.
and I wanted to be a prosecutor. And
You could have been a prosecuting
I could've.
neurosurgeon.
I wanted to do everything. So college wasn't an option. It was I was for sure going to
Yeah,
college.
you knew you were going. It was just a matter of what you wanted to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Online, it was an option.
Mhm.
Not one that I would like to have chosen,
Right.
which I'm glad I didn't have to.
Yeah.
Like I said, in-person classes they're just a better way for me to pick up the information. Like you said, you're able to raise your hand, ask questions directly,
Right.
talk face to face with the professors. That's just a very important part of learning for me.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. And so tell us about that 6 week, after you got the call from our guy over here and he told you about the program. I mean, did he have to kind of twist your arm or did he give you that
Definitely.
nice...
Definitely.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, tell me his methods.
I actually wasn't, I was dead set of going to IUPUI.
Okay.
Dead set. Like, I had a tour lined up and everything.
You sound convinced.
He kept calling me. I would get emails, and I'm like, who is Mr. Hawkins? What are they? And I'm like, and I was working at the time, too, so I'm like, I don't really care.
Right.
Until one day, they caught me on my off day.
They caught
and
you.
I just randomly answered the phone, didn't even really look at it. And they're like, hi, we've been trying to contact you about joining the groups program. You can just go ahead and put in your application, thank you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he got you.
And that was kind of how I found out about the groups program. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
And then once I looked into it, I was like, oh, this would be a great opportunity,
Nice.
actually. And then
He's like an admissions ninja, isn't he? He just like finds you.
definitely, like, kept contacting me over and over until I finally picked up the phone and they're like, listen, you're going to join this groups program because it'll be so good for you. And I'm so glad I answered that phone call that day because it changed my life afterwards.
Yeah, and so, so after you answered the phone call, he kind of set you up and all that. You went to what were your impressions?
When I first started the 6 weeks course, I was so nervous.
Yeah.
Like, the pandemic, I'm already an introvert as it is,
Yeah.
but being at home for 2 years straight,
Yeah.
that kind of put me deeper into my shell.
Yeah.
And I was like really so shy. I was so quiet. I was like scared. I'm like, what if they don't like me?
Right.
Because I'm a nervous talker.
Yeah.
So when I get really nervous, I just
You sure we're
ramble.
not related? All right, go ahead. Anyway.
So when I first met all the girls in the program,
Yeah.
I was like, it's all girls. So what if they're a little catty? What if we don't get along? What if they like something and I don't?
Now, mind you, these are questions I would never ask you. Please continue.
So like I was overthinking it, but then like after like the first week,
Yeah.
I just felt so comfortable with all of them.
Yeah.
It was kind of like having a second family.
Nice.
Like you could open up to them. They were so nice to you. They treated you like family. They wanted to see you succeed. They wanted to see you successful. They wanted to help you whenever you needed.
Right.
And it's kind of like our own little family.
Oh.
And I absolutely love it.
All right, listen, I love it. So tell us, what does your pathway look like?
I'm nursing.
Ah,
Actually,
yeah. So you did decide to go into the healthcare field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to do something medical.
Right.
Originally, it was going to be forensic science.
Oh, I guess you like messing with dead people, solving
I
crimes.
would say solving crimes,
Yeah.
yes. Messing with dead people.
Yeah. Like I said, you wanted to be a prosecuting neurosurgeon. It makes sense.
But I realized that forensic science it was more of a lab job.
Right.
And I'm like,
CSI.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of wanted to get out of my shell a little bit.
That's one
Go
way.
into a profession where I had to force myself to talk to people because if I could have it my way, I would be a hermit. I would not come out of the house. I wouldn't talk
Right.
to anyone. And being in nursing,
Yeah.
one of the things that appealed to me was being able to help people.
Right.
That's kind of like my purpose in life. I just want to be able to help someone through something, give them a little bit of sunshine in their dark days,
Yeah, look at you. I feel like I'm talking to like a 48-year-old woman right now.
I get that so
I
much.
mean, absolutely, and I'm absolutely enjoying this. So let me ask you this quickly: Did COVID kind of bring you closer to wanting to get into medicine? Because I know when this happened, a lot of people did feel just like 9/11 made people kind of want to go into the military. I know when the pandemic hit, people really wanted to make a difference when they were seeing people get sick and things like that. And I remember a lot of young people, and even some people who were thinking about changing careers, looking at nursing and the medical professions. Is that kind of one of the things that kind of put you over the top?
Actually, what made me choose nursing was my mom.
Oh, better.
She actually worked in the hospital, and
Yeah.
she worked throughout the entire pandemic.
Yeah,
Like, that woman is a powerhouse.
I like
can
that.
tell you.
yeah,
She's actually a nursing major as well.
nice.
So, she's been working in the hospital for about 20 years or so.
Yeah.
She decided to actually go be a nurse instead because everyone's like, oh, you should be a nurse. You'll be a great nurse. And just seeing my mom be on the front lines
Right.
doing this,
Yeah.
although she was absolutely terrified,
Yeah.
she still went to work every day. She still helped as many people as she could. And that was really inspiring to me. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
You know, you're gonna give me emotions. It's not even Mother's Day. This is a great story right
I
here.
love my mom.
So
Like,
you and your
she's
have you and your mom kind of made this little pact? And you know, of course, as Sochi sits here, it seems like you got another supporter that you can support, and you and your mom go through this nursing journey together.
Oh, definitely. Listen, I've never seen my mom cry as much as she has since she's been in nursing school.
Wow.
Like, that woman, she's stressed out. Of course, it comes with the major, but she's actually really supportive, and I try to support her the best way I can, although I'm not as advanced in the program as she is just yet.
Right.
But
You're older than she is. Yes, you'll be good. I mean, because like I said, you're a 40-year-old woman. You can totally be there for her.
I try my best, but I kind of just try to be that shoulder my mom needs.
Yeah.
You know, whenever I see that she's kind of stressed, I'm like, hey, why don't you take a break? Why don't you, let's go watch a movie or something.
Oh
you
my
know?
goodness. You're awesome. I mean, both of you all are absolutely awesome. And I want to toss it back to Antoine so we can kind of hammer this home. Good job, my friend. I mean, we'll talk about your tactics. I like your style. I mean, once you get somebody's phone number, you just keep going, don't you? Doesn't matter if they kind of screen you and act like a bill collector. You get through, don't you?
Absolutely. I got my wife that way too.
You don't tell us all the secrets. Well, listen, persistency. Yeah. Persistence. But this was all just aside. I really am. I just want to tell you, man, just how I'm impressed I am, and I'm sure there are so many other stories just like you all that are going through this program. I understand exactly what this program is about now. I think you all helped kind of, elucidate it. I got one question quickly for Antoine. Where are the dudes?
Man, that is a good question. So we had a couple of guys that were accepted into the program and decided last minute to go somewhere else. They didn't want to come out here Northwest.
Yeah.
However, this next cohort, we do have some applications of some guys.
Yeah.
So this inaugural group was all ladies.
Okay, no problem.
It was all ladies.
They deserve it.
They developed a nice little sisterhood. Getting started. Yeah.
We'll talk. We got to work on these dudes, though. Absolutely. Can't have that. But anyway, so go give parents out here, because obviously we're in the third leg of the school year right now. So you got parents listening, grandparents listening, people who know scholars that are hearing this program right now and are like, you know what, ding, this will be great for my child, my son, my daughter, my grandson, my granddaughter, my niece, my nephew. How does this happen?
So for those who are interested in the Group Scholars Program, there is an application process that you have to go through. However, we do have an info session this Monday.
Yeah.
Monday, March 6th at IU Northwest Campus. It's from 6 to 7:30 p.m.
Yeah.
This Monday. Come out, you'll learn all about the program. You'll have an opportunity to meet myself and some of the other scholars, ask whatever questions you may have, as well as apply for the program. So we're looking for individuals who want to attend IU Northwest. So if you are currently accepted, you plan on coming to IU Northwest, you don't know for sure, you thought about it, think about it, come on to IU Northwest, apply to the Group Scholars Program. We're looking for students. There are some requirements. We'll go over that on Monday. But come and join us Monday and learn more about the Group Scholars Program on the Northwest Campus.
And as always, you and your wonderful colleagues also provide information on financial aid and all those things like we talked about last time.
Absolutely. So there is a financial aspect to the program. So the program provides financial support to students as well. So like I said, one piece of that is for the 6 weeks program when students are earning those 3 credits. All of that is covered for them. So all of their trips, any and everything that we do for the students, we continuously do trips throughout the year. So, actually this Friday we're going on a trip as well. This Friday, these two were just, and some other Group Scholars were just in Chicago at a leadership conference, all paid for. So there's a lot of benefits of being in this program. It doesn't cost you anything except for a commitment that you're going to give your all. That's all we ask you to do. And we'll make sure that we reciprocate that and give you everything we have to make sure that you're going to be successful.
Well, listen, I think you have, it's obvious there are 2 leaders sitting right here, so money well spent on that field trip. But once again, shout out to you and your wonderful department, man. Always looking. Every time you come here, you've got something new I've not heard of. You make me feel so old, Antoine. You really do. But you always have some great initiatives and things like that going on, and I think all of us are benefiting from learning what's going on at IUN. Once again, ladies, that was awesome. I'm looking for the dudes, but you know what? We'll worry about them later. You all are absolutely top notch, and it was so great to meet you. And I think you all are. I just wish you all the luck in the world, and you're taking full advantage of these opportunities. And I can't say. I know your family is, but I'm proud to have just met you.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we're going to take a break. When we come back in a bit, we are going to get another